Hi there, Eve here from Vitamin Eve Nutrition Counseling. And today we're going to talk about connecting and food. How to connect over food while staying in connection with yourself. But before I get started, I just want to thank you all for subscribing to my channel and for all of your comments. So thank you for keeping this community fun. And if you haven't done so already, I invite you to subscribe. So what inspired this video is just yesterday, I was at a coffee shop with a friend, and after we finished brunch, they suggested, let's share a chocolate croissant. And who am I to say no to a delicious chocolate croissant? So we enjoyed that chocolate croissant, and it felt so good because it elongated the connection time that we had together. Plus, a chocolate croissant is delicious. So comment below if you have ever used food to connect. You know, maybe you've had bagels or donuts during a meeting, or maybe you took out your kids for ice cream, or maybe while you watch TV at night with your partner, you eat some salty snacks like chips or something. So these are all examples of how we may use food to connect. And when I think back on my life, there are so many examples of how we grew up using food to connect, and I cherish all of those memories. In fact, a lovely one that we had that we did several times a week was our fruit sessions at night. My family and I would get together for a fruit session on my parents' bed. It would happen after dinner, in the middle of homework. We'd get a break and we get to have fruit together, and it was a time for us to take a break, to enjoy each other's company, and to eat delicious fruit. And so I just want to start out by saying using food to connect is a part of life. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. However, if food is the only way you have to connect with yourself or with others, this could become problematic. This could become problematic because using food in this way may cause you to eat excessively, may cause you to eat when you're not hungry, and eating when you're not hungry could eventually cause some health problems depending on what you're eating. Also, it may cause you to eat when you're not hungry or push past your point of fullness, or it may cause you to feel out of alignment with yourself in an attempt to connect with another. Let me say this in another way. Eating to connect could become a problem if it forces you to disconnect with yourself in trying to connect with another. I'll say that yet another way. If you have to feel disconnected from yourself to connect with another person, how connected is that really? In fact, many of my clients tell me stories around how frustrated they are that when they eat with other people sometimes, that they eat in a way that's not connected. They eat out of alignment with themselves because they're so distracted, because they're trying to connect, because they're trying to participate in the event. So does that ever happen to you? Do you ever feel like you're forced to eat out of alignment with yourself in trying to connect with another? It's a paradox here. If it forces you to feel disconnected with yourself, you can't really connect with another. So what I want to share with you are some tips on how to eat in a way that is in alignment with you, how to stay connected with yourself while you're trying to connect with another with food. And these are some tips that I've helped my clients, I've used myself, so I hope you find them helpful. Tip number 1 is to start at an intention. That if you notice that you're going to eat something with the intention to connect, to make the intention of, I want to stay connected with myself as I eat this and I connect with another. Again, I love the power of intention and how that could bring so much more awareness to anything. So tool number 1 is to set an intention to do so. Tool number 2 is to serve yourself a finite amount of the food. And I've used this plenty of times myself, that if I'm eating with another and I can easily get distracted in the conversation and what's going on and in the event, serving myself a finite amount of food that I feel comfortable with can really help. So that could be something that you could try. A third suggestion is serving yourself some food that you feel comfortable with. If you're not hungry to eat what they're having and you still want to participate and you want to eat something, how about choosing something that you feel comfortable with? So it was really interesting because a few weeks ago, a friend of mine had great news to celebrate. And neither of us were hungry, but we definitely wanted to celebrate over something. So we busted out a bottle of sparkling water, and that was really fun. It was really refreshing. So choosing something that you feel fits you in that moment. Because remember, ultimately, you got to stay connected with yourself if you want to be connected with another person. And the fourth tip that I want to suggest is this idea is that if you don't feel like ingesting anything, why do you have to? really questioning yourself of what does it truly mean to connect with another person? Do you have to be eating the same thing at the same time to be truly connected? You know, it's these things that we do without even thinking about it. So I hope you find these tips helpful, and you don't have to master these over one day. In fact, it's really awesome because the holidays are upon us, and as you know, that brings about a lot of connection around food and eating, so you'll have plenty of times to practice this. But what I want to know is, how can you relate to this information? Do you use food to connect? And if so, which of these tips, or maybe something I didn't say so far, do you find might be helpful for you to stay connected with yourself while you're with another, connecting over food? So I hope this was helpful, and if it was, I invite you to subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of my world. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.